Name your price.
Your father was wandering the streets in the rain. Is that something I should be blamed for?
Your father was wandering the streets in the pouring rain.
And you think I had some kind of angle?
Yes, I do.
You're wrong.
Thunder cracked across the sky. Those words hit harder than the thunder did. The alley went dead quiet. Rain came straight down like needles. The sunglasses stayed fixed on Ebony, didn't move an inch. Lightning split across the lenses in a white flash, and there reflected back was Ebony's face, soaked but steady, not a flicker of backing down, not the scared kind of angry, the dignified kind. Her afro held its shape through the downpour, every single curl in that cold, concrete alley. She was the only living thing. Baron wagged his tail in her direction. Something moved in Jax's throat. He swallowed whatever he was about to say. That's how this story started. Let's go back 3 hours earlier. Midnight. The late shift at the convenience store had just ended. Ebony yanked off her work vest, shoved it into her bag, and stepped out into the alley. 2 plastic bags, worn-out sneakers, hair that smelled like instant noodles, and fluorescent lighting. That was everything she had that night. Then the sky opened up. Rain that was absolutely not in the forecast.
Seriously? Again?
Ebony balanced a plastic bag on her head, like a sad little hat, and took off running. She made it to the end of the alley before she stopped cold. Someone was there, standing in the rain, alone, not moving. An elderly gentleman. His tailored suit was soaked straight through. A gold watch caught the light through the downpour, but his feet were bare. Ebony looked at those bare feet. That was all it took.
Sir, are you okay?
The old man looked up. His eyes were cloudy, but somewhere, deep in them, lived a very old sadness.
Jax, where did Jax go?
Ebony looked around. Nobody. Come with me.
We need to get you out of this rain first.
Samuel took her hand. No hesitation. Ebony's place was a semi-basement unit, tucked at the back of the alley. 1 window, 1 sink, 1 beat-up electric floor mat. Samuel stepped inside and looked up at the ceiling. Cozy.
He just called this place cozy. This man.
Ebony opened the fridge. 2 eggs, a bundle of green onions, a little tub of doenjang paste, the cheapest ingredients you could find about to make the most expensive kind of comfort. While the soup was heating up, Ebony went through Samuel's pockets. 1 business card, gold lettering, JX Group, Chairman, Samuel Chai. She flipped it over. No phone number.
A chairman's business card with no phone number. Interesting choice.
Ebony typed JX Group into the search bar. Articles flooded the screen, and then a photo. Jax Chai, heir to JX Group. Sunglasses on, face turned just slightly away from the camera. You couldn't see his eyes, couldn't read his expression, and yet something cold radiated right off the screen.
So this is the son.
Ebony checked the screen twice. Then she picked up the ladle and kept stirring. Samuel finished every drop of that soup, wrapped in Ebony's old cardigan on the floor mat.
It's warm.
Just 2 words, but only someone who hasn't been warm in a long, long time says it quite like that, like they know the exact name of the thing they've been missing. The knock came at 1:30 in the morning. Less of a knock, more like the door itself was receiving a formal warning. Ebony opened it. The hallway was packed with men in suits. At the front stood a figure in a black coat, wearing sunglasses. At 1:30 in the morning, next to him a Doberman, shoulder height, ears up, eyes locked on Ebony like laser beams. Ebony met the dog's gaze. She didn't look away. The dog stopped. His tail started wagging. Jax's jaw went rigid.
Where is my father?
Asleep. Inside. How much? Excuse me?
Name your price. Whatever you want.
People had started gathering at the mouth of the alley. Phones went up. The filming started. See? Told you this was planned. Sketchy from the jump, man. Ebony heard every word, crystal clear, and still didn't take her eyes off Jax.
Your father was wandering the streets in The pouring rain. And you think I had some kind of angle?
Thunder cracked, lightning blazed. Across the sunglasses, the alley went, dead silent. Baron walked over and lay down slowly at Ebony's feet. In 10 years, Jax had never once seen him do that. The men on his team looked at each other. Wait, is that dog actually wagging his tail right now? Jax looked down at Baron. For a long moment, Baron kept wagging. Right there at Ebony's feet, something shifted along Jax's jawline.
Come with us. I'd like you there when my father wakes up.
It was an order, but somehow it came out sounding like a favor. He was asking.
Wait, he wants me to go? Now? Tonight?
Baron stood up, walked toward the direction Jax had come from. Ebony took one beat, longer, then followed. The car stopped in front of a building that had too many floors to count, glass walls glittering through the rain.
This man actually lives here.
When they walked through the lobby, every single staff member bowed. Jax didn't acknowledge any of them. Inside the elevator, 3 people and 1 dog.
What's your name?
Ebony. Last name? Just Ebony.
He didn't push it. Numbers ticked upward. Penthouse. The living room alone was 10 times the size of her entire apartment.
Places like this actually exist. Who knew?
Samuel sank into the couch and closed his eyes. Almost instantly, Jax went and got a blanket himself. Didn't ask anyone. Did it himself. Ebony took it and draped it over Samuel's shoulders. The stove came on. Firelight caught Ebony from behind. Jax watched that silhouette, all marble and glass and steel in this space. And the only soft, round thing in the room was her afro. The only thing that felt alive. He kept watching from behind his sunglasses for a while. Honey?
Is that you?
Ebony stopped. Jax stopped.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry I'm late.
Samuel held Ebony's hand tight, like he wasn't planning to let go. Jax stood there and watched. 3 things entered the penthouse that night for the very first time. A woman with an afro, the smell of soup, and something warm. Jax told himself they'd be gone by morning, but Baron already knew they weren't going anywhere.
Let's pretend last night didn't happen. Morning?
The city woke up, still wet from the rain. Ebony opened her eyes. In the guest room, the ceiling was way too high.
Right, this place.
She walked out to the living room. Jax was already there. Sunglasses, black shirt, coffee. Hard to tell if he'd slept at all. Maybe he just never had.
Pretend it didn't happen?
Before this turns into something it doesn't need to be.
It's already something.
Ebony held up her phone. A video was playing. JX Group chairman's father led away by suspicious woman. Caught on camera. The view count had been climbing all night. Jax's jaw locked up.
I was just trying to help him.
I know that.
If you want to pretend it didn't happen, you're the one who needs to set the record straight, not me.
A brief silence.
And one more thing.
Ebony looked at him straight on.
My afro is more precisely shaped than your entire suit. Maybe work on your composure the same way.
The staff froze. Baron walked over and sat down right next to Ebony. Jax clocked that. That's when Samuel appeared in his pajamas. His whole face lit up the second he saw Ebony.
You came. You came back today.
Of course I did, Grandpa.
Have you eaten?
I'll make you something right now.
Ebony headed into the kitchen like she'd been doing it for years. Jax watched her go, then looked at his father. Samuel was staring at the kitchen doorway with an expression Jax hadn't seen on his face in a long, long time. Ebony didn't leave until after lunch. Samuel wouldn't let go of her hand, so
Let me pay you for your time.
I'm good.
There must be a reason.
I wanted to do it. There's a difference between that and doing it for money.
Jax paused.
Does he wander like that often?
More recently.
That must be really hard, dealing with that alone.
When was the last time someone had said something like that to him? Jax couldn't begin to calculate it. That evening, after Ebony had gone, Jax.
Yes, Dad.
Is that girl coming back?
I don't know.
She should. Her eyes look like your mother's.
The coffee cup in Jax's hand went completely still. Samuel said it like it was nothing, then turned back to the window, like he hadn't just said the one thing that could stop Jack's cold. The next morning.
Hello? It's Jax. How did you get my number?
You texted me yesterday.
Oh, right, I did.
My father is asking for you.
I have plans today.
What time are you done?
6 o'clock that evening, a black SUV was parked in front of the convenience store.
No way.
The back window rolled down. Sunglasses. Get in.
I can walk.
My father is waiting.
Ebony opened the car door. Baron was sitting in the middle seat.
Why is this dog always in the middle? Every single time.
The ride was quiet. Ebony and Jax on either side. Baron right in between them. Ebony looked out the window. Jax stared straight ahead. Baron looked back and forth between the two of them. The most emotionally honest one in that car was absolutely the dog.
Is this going to be a regular thing?
If my father wants it to be.
Shouldn't you be asking me?
Do you not want to come?
Ebony didn't answer. Baron leaned his head onto her shoulder.
I can't say no to this dog. That's just facts.
Samuel was standing at the front door when they arrived.
You came. You're here again.
Yep, Grandpa, I'm here.
Samuel took her hand. Jax adjusted his sunglasses. That evening, the three of them sat at the table together. Same seats as the night before. Baron at Ebony's feet. Same spot as the night before. Jax picked up his chopsticks and took in the whole scene. Yesterday and today looked exactly the same. Something told him tomorrow would too. Whether that bothered him, well, the sunglasses weren't saying.
Jax, that girl, is going to make you cry for the first time.
A week passed. Ebony came every day. After her shift ended, she came. On days off, she came earlier. Nobody told her to. She just showed up because she knew Samuel would be waiting. That night, Jax couldn't fall asleep for a long time. The trouble came on a Friday. Ebony, can I talk to you for a sec? The manager slid his phone across the counter. That video from the alley a week ago. 1 million views and counting. JX Group owns this building's lease. I really don't need that kind of drama.
Did I do something wrong?
Wrong isn't the point. The optics are the point. Ebony looked at him, said nothing, because she knew arguing would get her nowhere. She stepped out of the convenience store, and there it was. Oh my God, that's her. The one from the video. The one who went after the JX chairman's dad. Like it wasn't obvious. Ebony kept walking, didn't turn around, just walked a little faster than usual.
It's fine. You're fine.
She was not fine. That night, Ebony didn't go to the penthouse. First time, she sat on the floor, mat in her apartment, arms around her knees. Hello?
You're not coming?
I'm just kind of wiped out today.
My father is expecting you.
I'll come tomorrow.
The call ended.
What am I even doing?
30 minutes later, a knock at the door. Jax, sunglasses, black coat, standing in front of her semi-basement door, in this narrow, little alley.
How did you find this place?
I already had your address.
That's actually kind of creepy. You know that?
Jax looked at her. Her eyes were red. He saw it from behind the sunglasses.
Did something happen?
No.
He knew it too.
I saw the video. And I'll take care of it.
Take care of it. You think everything can just be taken care of, don't you?
That's not what I
Almost lost my job today. My neighbors were pointing at me on the street. Can you take care of that?
Rain sounds filled the alley. Baron made a low sound from next to Jax, not taking his owner's side, not even close. Jax's hand moved toward his face, the fingers that found the frame of the sunglasses, the ones he'd worn for 20 years, trembled, just barely, as lightning split the alley white. He slowly lowered them. There was no monster behind them, no cold-blooded executive, just a lost son, eyes unsteady, barely holding it together against the weight of his father's illness.
Every time I saw that perfect hair of yours, it made me feel like my chaos was completely visible, like I was the one who had nothing together.
Ebony looked at him.
I'm sorry, Not for doubting you, for not trusting myself.
That's not a weakness.
Ebony spoke quietly.
That's proof. You're human.
Jax held her gaze. For a long time, Ebony shifted a step to the side.
Come in. I'll make some soup.
And there was Jax, in her tiny apartment, sitting on the floor mat, in his expensive coat, the most out-of-place thing in the world, and somehow it worked.
What about the sunglasses?
I wear them outside. Why? My eyes talk too much.
His eyes talk too much.
Ebony paused mid-stir. That answer was more honest than she'd expected, by a lot. The soup was ready. They sat across from each other. Jax lifted a spoonful of broth, said absolutely nothing, then took a second spoonful.
Can't say it's good out loud. Noted. How long has he been like this?
2 years now.
That must have been exhausting, carrying that alone.
Jax set his spoon down, looked at Ebony without the sunglasses on, deep eyes that had been alone for a very long time. Being strong doesn't always mean you chose to be alone. Jax started wearing those sunglasses the day he lost his mother. Ebony cooked for strangers with a near-empty fridge and never thought twice about it. 2 people, each holding themselves together in their own way. And that night, for the first time, they were holding it together for each other. The world could call it whatever it wanted, but soup doesn't lie.
There's exactly one thing money can't buy, and that's my heart.
Those words came 3 days later. Jax's office, a thick folder of documents, sat on the table.
It's a contract.
A contract?
For officially taking care of my father. Keeps things clean for both of us.
Ebony looked down at the paperwork, the monthly salary line, 12 times what she made at the convenience store. Ebony closed the folder.
If the terms aren't right, I can adjust them.
It's not about the terms.
Then what's the problem?
There's exactly one thing money can't buy.
Jax waited. My heart. The office went quiet. Jax's fingers stopped on the table.
I go because I care about him. Sign a contract, and that changes. I can't explain it better than that.
Jax studied her for a long moment. She didn't blink. He opened the desk drawer and slid the folder in. Understood. Ebony stood up.
I'll go see him now.
She walked toward the door. Sunlight caught her afro from behind. Jax's gaze followed that silhouette. Then he opened the drawer again, pulled the folder out, and tore it in half. That evening, Samuel called Jax over. His eyes were clear, focused, present.
Sit down, Jax. About Ebony. She's got nobody. No one at all. But she doesn't reach out to just anyone.
Jax looked at his father. Samuel was sharp today, sharper than usual.
Jax, that girl is going to make you cry for the first time.
Jax went very still.
When was the last time you actually cried?
Jax didn't answer, because he genuinely didn't know.
You didn't even cry at your mother's funeral. That's when you put on those glasses.
Jax's jaw tightened. Samuel smiled.
Ebony's eyes look like your mother's. Baron knew it the second he saw her. That's why.
Sir, I need to flag something. This Ebony woman, we dug into her background, and it's thin, unclear motives. She may have other reasons for being around the chairman.
Keep looking.
Director Kong left. Jax sat alone. Ebony's words played back in his head. There's exactly one thing money can't buy. He took his sunglasses off, alone in the room. The next day when Ebony arrived at the penthouse, the way the staff looked at her had changed. She felt it, but she didn't let on.
Grandpa, I'm here.
You came? What are you making today?
Whatever you want.
Jax watched from the hallway, the investigation report still in his hand. He folded it shut. Hold on a second. Your parents aren't around, Ebony? We do standard background checks on anyone near the chairman. Ebony looked at Director Kong. Then she looked for Jax. He was standing in the living room. Their eyes met. He didn't say a word.
So he ran a background check on me. Got it.
Baron stepped forward, putting himself between Ebony and Director Kong. Low growl. Kong stepped back. Jax watched. Baron had already made his call.
I'll tell you another time.
Ebony reached for the door.
Ebony, I didn't order that.
I know.
Then why knowing doesn't...
Make it feel any less bad.
She pressed the elevator button.
Will you come tomorrow?
Ask your father.
The doors closed. Jax stood in front of those closed elevator doors. For a long time, Baron came and stood beside him, pressed his head against Jax's hand.
Come inside.
Dad, is Ebony coming tomorrow?
Why are you asking me?
Jax went still.
If you want her to come, you tell her.
Samuel closed his eyes. Jax pulled out his phone.
Will you come tomorrow? I'd like you to.
Does your father want me to?
I want you to.
Silence on the other end. Then, very quietly, Ebony laughed, the tiniest sound. Jax heard it, from behind, the sunglasses. Something that had been locked up tight shifted, just slightly.
From today, Baron has 2 owners.
Before those words came, there was one more thing. Director Kong, he had a plan, in the works, to use Ebony against Jax. Use Ebony to reach Samuel. Use Samuel to pressure Jax. Jax found out. The report came in at dawn. He stood at the window in his sunglasses for a long time, not moving. That afternoon, Ebony was on her way to the penthouse. 2 men stepped out and blocked her path at the mouth of the alley. Ebony, just need a minute of your time.
Who are you?
Getting mixed up in JX's internal mess is only going to hurt you. Work with us, and we'll make your life a lot easier.
Work with you how?
Just tip us off on what Jax is up to. That's all we need. Move. You really don't want JX as an enemy right now. Ebony didn't respond. She just walked. They stepped in front of her again. That's when it happened. A black SUV pulled up at the alley entrance. Baron jumped out first, then Jax. Sunglasses, black coat. The 2 men went stiff.
Step aside.
Low voice, calm, but different this time, because it was aimed at protecting Ebony. The men moved. Baron walked straight over to Ebony's side.
How did you know?
I already knew.
Director Kong was called in that evening.
You've put in a lot of years.
Jax slid a document across the desk.
Let's wrap things up with this.
A resignation letter, already dated. Sir, this is sign it. Kong picked up the pen. His hand was shaking. Jax watched from behind the sunglasses. No expression. That night, Jax brought Ebony up to the rooftop. The rain had stopped. The city was glittering, still wet.
You wanted to see me?
Yeah.
Baron sat down between them, as always. Same spot, every time.
Were you scared? Earlier today?
Honestly, yes.
Then why did you just keep walking?
Because stopping would have been scarier.
This happened because of me.
I know.
And you're still Grandpa.
Is waiting for me.
Jax had nothing left to say to that.
You know how sometimes he calls me honey? Yeah, every single time. I want to cry, but I hold it in. Because if I cry, he'll get scared.
Jax stood there for a long time. The city lights reflected off the sunglasses, and then his hand moved toward his face. Slowly, his fingers were shaking. Ebony saw it. Her hand moved just barely toward his. Didn't quite reach, but it was enough. Jax took off the sunglasses. No monster, no ice, nothing cold, just a lost sun trembling, barely holding it together, watching his father disappear one day at a time. Ebony held his gaze.
That's not a weakness. That's proof. You're human.
Jax kept looking at her. For the first time, really looking. Jax placed the sunglasses in Ebony's hands. No words. Ebony held them. They were cold, but somehow not heavy at all.
From today, Baron has 2 owners.
Ebony looked at him. Baron pressed his head into her side. She smiled. The first real smile of the whole day. That's when the rooftop door opened. Samuel, in his pajamas. He'd come all the way up. Sir, you really shouldn't be up here. Samuel didn't listen. He looked back and forth between Ebony and Jax, and smiled. Jax.
Yeah, Dad. Jax.
He said it twice, clearly, fully present. Jax walked to him. Samuel took Jax's face in both hands.
There are your eyes. I can see them. Good.
Something in Jax's eyes broke open. Ebony watched, sunglasses still in her hands, and the tears came. This time, she let them. Strong people cry late, but they always do, eventually. Jax held it together. For years behind those sunglasses, Ebony held it together. Behind her smile. And on that rooftop, on that same night, they both finally let themselves stop holding on. Sometimes that's all a moment has to be. This story leaves us with a few things worth carrying. The first is this: genuine kindness doesn't keep score. Ebony didn't calculate anything. She saw an old man with bare feet standing in the rain, and she reached out her hand. She thought someone might be cold, so she made soup. That's it. And that unremarkable act of decency unlocked a door that had been sealed shut for 20 years. The world pointed fingers at her, but Baron wagged his tail, and Samuel wouldn't let go of her hand. A dog and an old man don't lie. The second thing this story says is that being alone is not the same as being strong. Jax believed that keeping people at a distance was how he protected himself, but what actually protected him was the silhouette of a woman stirring soup in his kitchen, a woman who asked for nothing and gave everything anyway. We think we're guarding ourselves, when sometimes we're just locking ourselves in. Real courage, it turns out, looked like taking off a pair of sunglasses. And the last thing, warmth doesn't check your background, your status, or your age. One hand extended to a barefoot stranger in a rainy alley can end someone's very long winter. That hand could be yours. This is a work of fiction.